adventures of BIGGLES.
With a small band of Kyrgyz warriors, Ginger set off to ambush the prison cart taking the missionaries from Tunhuang. Away to the south, Biggles and Bertie make a daring bid for escape. They're working to remove the windscreen of the big plane when Kubowski gives the alarm. Biggles makes a split-second decision. He and Bertie leap for the cockpit, and very quickly the plane is in motion, taxiing through the mob of yelling Chinese and racing for the desert beyond the tarmac. Biggles' plan is risky, but better to taxi across the desert in pitch darkness than give themselves up to the communists. Then, the white ray of a searchlight leaps out to them. They're beyond the range of the guns of the drone, but not those of an aircraft.
Holy smoke! That didn't come from the drone. No, it's a kite. They've sent up a fighter, and with this light on us, we're in full view.
Sizzling sausages, he'll cut us to pieces.
Yes, we're a sitting shot, Bertie, or rather a taxiing one.
Well, that's just as bad. What speed are we doing?
50 miles an hour. That's nothing to a kite that screams down at 300 or 400.
I say, that was too close, old trout. Some of those slugs went through the fuselage.
Well, the next burst will most likely come through the cockpit. There's only one thing for it.
What's that?
More speed. I'll send her along right at the point of takeoff.
Hang on, old bean. That bally windscreen's only holding by one screw. It won't stand up to speed.
It'll have to. Lean over in front of me. Put your weight against it. Here we go.
I wish you could take off.
No chance. We dodged the fighter, but we'd be blown inside out within a couple of minutes. This way, we might get beyond that confounded light before he gets us.
Hold me another 100 yards. Come on, old sausage, come on. Made it. We're out of the light.
Only just in time, by jingo.
Just as enough. Noticed he was a bit wide that time.
Yes, his judgment could have been better. But we'll keep it at this for a minute or two longer.
I shouldn't, old bean. This very windscreen's beginning to flap behind me. Catch your speed while you can.
Don't swerve at this pace, and the pilot of that plane will know it. He may judge our position.
No, the blind has missed us completely. Notice that he was further off than ever.
Good. He obviously doesn't know his job. We'll cut back on the juice then.
Baked potatoes, the windscreen!
Put it out of my way, Bertie, quickly! It's in the way of the controls! Have to throttle back now!
None too bally soon, old trout.
Wind was awful at that speed, wasn't it?
Bally frightful. My nose has switched round to the back of my neck.
Not too bad now. How's the perspex? Did it smash to pieces when it blew out?
No, it split near one of the screw holes. Bit too belly dark to examine it properly.
We'll look at it later. Put it carefully where it won't be damaged further.
Roger. Oh. Well. What now?
Be almost scudding blind across the desert like this. We seem to have thrown off the fighter.
Now we just wait for the next choice morsel of nonsense to hit us, what?
That's it. And as I say, that nonsense may take the form of anything.
Are we going the right way, Ming? Yes. In this direction is Tunhuang. I had a feeling the Kyrgyz might lead us off the track to murder us. But apparently we can trust them all right.
One can never trust the Kyrgyz.
Oh, nonsense. Look at the way they're riding now. Grim and determined. They're out for a good scrap, not to do the dirty on us.
I hope you are right. I do not like this task.
What, the ambush idea? Why? Because of the Kyrgyz?
That, and this country through which we travel.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, isn't it? Some of these hills and valleys look as if they survived from the Ice Age. I think I prefer the flat sand.
This is terrible country. In these hills lives demons and monsters.
Oh, come off it, Ming.
It is so. Do not fall back from our party, or you will meet with death.
Ah, that's rot. And look at the Kirghiz. They're not worried about demons.
They ride fast, do they not?
Yes, they are going at a fair bet.
It is because they fear what would happen to them if they were to stop. Do not talk, ride faster. Only that way will we escape the demons.
Algy, why are you pacing up and down the cave like that? You should be asleep.
Oh, hello, Anne. I can't sleep. I've too much to think about.
Then I must give you a sedative.
Oh, no fear. And that won't help me think.
Father Dubron asked me to come and see that you were comfortable. He told me that if you were restless, I was to give you a sedative.
When I'm ill, you and Father Dubron can nurse and doctor me as much as you like. But at the moment, I'm perfectly fit. I'm worried, that's all.
About Ginger?
Partly. I shouldn't have let him go on this crazy stunt.
But Henrik says it's the only possible way to rescue our friends.
It is. But if it fails, no one will be rescued, and we lose Ginger and Ming.
It mustn't fail, Algy. Oh, don't give up hope yet.
I don't give up hope, but I believe in looking at all sides of a question. However, Ginger isn't my only worry.
You mean your other friends?
Biggles and Bertie. Oh, yes, they'll be all right. They're probably snug in their beds somewhere in Pakistan. But I'm darn worried about us.
Henrik is worried, too. He admitted it to me this evening. Are we in great danger, Algy?
As far as I can see, we are. It's that bloke, the Tiger, who's likely to cause the trouble.
Ma Chang. Do you think he'll come back?
I'm sure he will. This morning he saw Ginger down in the oasis. He's not a complete fool. He'll know something unusual's going on here. I can't see that he'll miss coming back to find out what it is.
Oh, and everything seemed to be going so well today.
Yes, we had quite a good spell. But I'm afraid it's over now. The Tiger will come back, if only to hunt out the Kirghiz.
Well, he may not find us. He hasn't before.
Sheer luck both times. We can't rely on it holding again.
Do you think he'll come back soon, Algy?
I've no idea. Our one hope is that he won't turn up for a couple of days. By that time, Biggles will be here with the kite. But that's too much to hope for.
Well, even so, he's unlikely to come back tonight, isn't he?
I should think so. He was given a nasty fright this morning. But there's all tomorrow and the next day.
We can be safe by then.
How do you mean?
In the caves.
Here? Oh, his men had searched through these in no time.
You haven't been properly through them yet. None of us have. They burrow right back into the cliff. There are many places where we could hide for weeks without being found.
If Ma Chang comes back with a team of blokes, he could have the caves searched within a few hours. But you're right, Anne. They're quite a good hiding place. Anyway, they're the best we have.
Well, why not move everyone up here tomorrow? Then we'll at least be less likely to be caught by surprise.
Not tomorrow, tonight. Will you see Henrik and ask him to organize it for you?
Is it as urgent as that? I know Miss Summers is already asleep.
Oh, she'll have to wake up. While the danger lasts, the situation's urgent. Tell Henrik to bring everyone up to the caves and to settle them in here. Then he and Feng can cut up all our stores. I want the oasis and the guest house left without any sign that they've been occupied.
Well, Feng's out in the desert on watch.
Bring him in for an hour or two. We'll have to risk that. Our most important job is to clear the oasis and have everyone hidden in the caves. We must be ready for Ma Chang.
Belly thing doesn't sound so hot, Biggles.
That's the trouble. It's too hot. The motors will cease in a minute.
Well, hang it all. We're scarcely using them according to the maker's specifications, what?
I say bless the maker, Bertie. He's been on our side so far.
Yes, by Jove. The old kite certainly carried us a few miles. But it can't last much longer, old trout.
Neither can our luck, barging across the desert without a crack-up. I thought we'd hit a rock or a ditch long before this.
Well, look here, then. How about calling it a day? Tempting jolly old Providence somewhat to trundle on any further, what? Besides, this blowing wind's giving Harriet a headache.
We'll keep going while we can. Every minute's bringing us closer to our own machine, don't forget.
Sizzling sausages! You aren't thinking of taxiing that far?
Nowhere near it. We wouldn't have a hope. But I've been steering a course back along the way we came. More miles we can travel like this, the less we'll have to walk tomorrow.
Baked potatoes, yes, there's something in that. By all means, let's travel in comfort, what? I mean to say, always providing we can travel. Hello, 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 what was that?
Loose sand, I think. Our wheels got caught for a moment.
That doesn't sound so good to us, missies. Loose sand can be very dangerous.
Yes, A bad patch would pull the kite over onto her nose.
Too painful, old bean, too painful. Pull up and we'll walk. Less comfortable, but much safer.
I think I will. Where there's one patch of loose sand, there'll be more.
Holy mackerel, there it is! Switch on!
Biggles reaches for the ignition as the wheels grip in the sand and the big plane keels over. After the smash, will he and Bertie be fit to return to their own plane? Are Algy's fears of an attack justified? Listen again for the excitement in the air adventures of Biggles.